Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to a $400 gaming PC build. Let's get straight into this with the CPU. I went with the Intel Pentium G2020. It's an Ivy Bridge CPU running at 2.9 gigahertz, and it's only about 60 bucks. You might even be able to find it cheaper if you go on eBay or some other sites, depending on where you shop. This is a really good CPU. It's only a dual-core CPU, so it's not going to have a lot of longevity, but for right now, for games today, it's really good for games at lower resolutions. Again, that's also hinging on the graphics card, but if you're playing at lower resolutions, this is really solid. And I know it's only a dual core. Most games are now supporting quad cores, but dual cores are still efficient enough so they can run games at decent settings and get decent frame rates. Again, that's also hinging on the graphics card. Now, for a $400 build, an FX 4300 or an i3 wasn't really viable, so I have to go with the next best thing. This is like the cheapest CPU you can get and still be able to, efficiently game on it. So, pretty solid CPU right here, and it's only $60, so not a huge portion of our budget, giving us a little bit of money to use on the graphics card. For the motherboard, I went with the Asus P8B75-M. This is a pretty solid motherboard for around 69 bucks. Now, I went a little higher end than I normally do, but we had the money, so I was like, nah, might as well. I kind of got a little slower of a graphics card, but it's still going to be fine. This is a really solid motherboard. It's from Asus, so you know you're getting something good. It's LJ1155. You can also upgrade, and with this motherboard, I would recommend, if you want down the line, you could get an i5 like 3330, I believe it is, or it's 3320. Can't remember. Supports 2200 OC DDR3 RAM. Has 2 sticks of it, and a pretty solid motherboard for about 65 bucks. It's not the best thing in the world, but for the budget, it's really solid and offers some upgradability options. For the RAM, I went with G.Skill Ripjaw series, 4GB, 1 stick. I know it's only 1 stick and it's 4GB. 8GB would be nice, but for 70 bucks, I really didn't want to go with 8GB. 4GB is going to be plenty for now, but down the line, you can easily just buy another stick for about 32 bucks and just throw that on the motherboard. That's going to be very easy to do, and it's only 32 bucks, so that's not going to be a huge hassle for you guys. For the power supply, I went with the Corsair Builder Series CX500. It's a 500 watt power supply. Now, the thing about these power supplies, I usually get them off Newegg, and if you're looking to get one of these CX series power supplies on a budget end build, shop around, check which ones have rebates and which ones have promo codes, because usually Newegg puts only one of them with a bunch of rebates and then a bunch of promo codes. So typically, it's either the CX430, the CX500, or the CX600, and you can get some really good deals if you just shop around. Right now, you can get the CX500 after a $10 off promo code and a $20 off mail-in rebate. You're getting it for 30 bucks, so that's really good for a 500 watt power supply. This is going to easily be able to power the build, and actually is going to offer some upgradability options if you want to throw in extra hard drives. 500 watts is plenty, especially because the build only probably uses 350 to 320 at most. For the graphics card, I went with the Sapphire Radeon HD 7790. It's an OC graphics card from Sapphire. Really solid graphics card, and it has a dual fan design, so you guys can overclock the shit out of this card. Really solid card. It's $115 actually after a $10 mail-in rebate, so really good price. Can't say much more. This is really good for playing games at 1080p at medium settings, or if you want to lower the resolution to 720p, you're going to be able to play games at really solid frame rates. So this was an obvious choice in the build. 7790 is really good card. I used to stray away from it just because the price wasn't as good, but it's about price where it should be. The 7850 is about 140. Tried to fit that in, but it wasn't possible. And the 7770 is about 90 bucks, so it's about where it should be. And the 7790 is pretty good, and this one's OC'd out of the box, and it's pretty cheap, so you're getting the best of both worlds right here. For the hard drive, I went with the Western Digital WD Blue 500GB. Just a 500GB hard drive, no SSD. You guys know what I always say. If you guys have a hard drive from a previous build, you could either save the money entirely, skip this step, or you can get like a 60GB SSD. That's up to you. But, actually in this build, if you guys already have a hard drive from a previous build, I'd recommend spending that extra money on the graphics card. Get like maybe a 7850, or even if you can a 7870. The 7870 would be a little bottlenecked by the CPU, but still, it's going to perform really well. So if you guys already have a hard drive, there's a couple options, but if not, the WD Blue is perfectly fine. Finally, for the case, went with the NZXT Source 210. It's a white mid-tower case. Really solid case. It actually looks really solid for only $25 after a $10 mail-in rebate. So, really good case right there. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Remember to subscribe, like this video, and comment, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.